folks. It's all there and it's full glory. The bebop revolution was well underway in 1947. Charlie Parker wrote this great tune, and you could tell by the little quote, it was on Honeysuckle Rose for the first part of it. And in the bridge was the regular I Got Rhythm bridge. But Charlie Parker and the Cats, man, it was coming down the track. And these tempos are a little fast. And, you know, Jamie's Volume 6 is now available in a slower version, which we're going to use next because we need to get into the particulars here. And one of the things is the way the rhythm influences this music. We've been talking a lot about vocabulary coming from and being in the music. And yes, there are some nuggets in here, like that's like, you know, take to the bank stuff, and all that kind of stuff. Beautiful. I mean, perfect phrases, perfect sentences, and as all of Charlie Parker's music was, perfect. All right, we're going to slow down I'm going to use the slow down version of Jamie, and I'm going to talk a little bit now about about some of these rhythms and time, okay? When I put that slower version, Scrapple from the Apple, by the way, is the name. I'm sure you figured that out. When I put that slowed down version of the head with that rhythm, you notice that every single thing is with that beat. Ba-doo, ba-doo, doo, ba-doo, da-dee, ba-dee-da, ba-dee, triplets, and this embodies probably the essence of what makes bebop so special and jazz so special is that it has to swing. And one of the things with bebop came in was there was a lot more emphasis on syncopation and these bop, bip, ba-dop, ba-dee, boo-be-doo, bop, that type of syncopated cleverness, if you want to call it that. All of these types of things were starting to become more and more a part of the vocabulary. So, as you start working on your stuff, is breaking this down, using some of these stuff, for instance, practicing little patterns like this. Noticed, or maybe you didn't, but you should, that I started every one of those patterns off the beat and ended them off the beat. Now, along with this breaking this stuff down, you're going to need to do the same thing with your triplets to get those moving with that beat. And that will also help your swing beat, like this. See that those triplets, man, even at this slower tempo, they come pretty quick along, and your fingers, they've got to be dancing. And that syncopation, you listen to Bird play, man, he's nailing, putting that stuff. So, I mean, it's very intricate, and it takes a lot of listening is going to be your best thing. And listening to these guys play. Go through that period in the 40s, 50s. Listen to Charlie Parker and Miles with that group they had there at the Royal Roost, and Kenny Durham. Listen to the stuff with Fats. All of that stuff. That's where you learn this music. The Omni book. Jamie sells those in every key. That has all of Bird's transcriptions for just, I don't know, 40, 50 tunes. And getting those and starting to study, if you want to play this music, any jazz, you have to have some foundation, and this is where it starts. So, I'm going to try to talk a lot about the harmonic part of this in this lesson. I will talk a little bit about the bridge again, and which is a whole series of 2/5s based on the I Got Rhythm changes, and it's that cycle. It goes up, changes keys, then it goes right around up fourths, and my pentatonic pairs serves very nicely to start working through that. And I'm going to play those through the bridge right now. Now, have you heard that played like that? Probably Lester Young, Coleman Hawkins, Bird, all those guys picked up those sounds. That's the 5-6-1-2 of a 2/5, and it's half minor, or it's half 2 and it's half 5, but it gives you that sound, and it's a melody you can get up and whistle and remember, and it's a system. And you can learn all about it in my Jazz Everyone online lessons. That's the principle behind my whole language system. Because the next trick is putting the major third on those like this. Then you're into another whole new nice sound. You can hear how that immediately expands the harmonic and vocabulary potential. Now comes the pay dirt, and that's embellishing these things like this. Like this, and that sounds like this. And this is another place when you start developing these, I call them squiddly dots, they have to be absolutely right on the money. I'm going to give you a little example of that because, man, there's no room for error. You have to play these like real 16th notes. Yo, and that's how you do it, dude. It takes a lot of practice, and man, those fingers, I've been working on this forever. Anyhow, one more step, and that's hooking all of these pairs and embellished pairs together with chromatics like this. And that's a part of my system. That's like, you know, very important step because it starts all this stuff. And that's essential in bebop. Getting your chromatics in place. Okay, I knew I had at least one D in there today. That's about it. One a day. I just blew it, or play, however you want to look at it. Anyhow, there's one more step. I'm going to save that. That's the flat 7 setup, and that's the really sweet one. It takes you into all the diminished ones. So I'm going to close this puppy out with have some fun. This is one of Jamie's killer play-alongs. It's another all Charlie Parker thing. It's Bird Goes Latin, and it's volume 69. And I'm going to do the same tune with a little a la South of the Border.